Good evening. Welcome to South Asia Newsline. I'm Yeshi Chonzom. Here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Tuesday, the 18th of August. India records decline in daily COVID-19 cases and deaths. Total cases over 2.7 million. At least 10 killed as boat capsizes in Pakistan's Sindh province. And over a dozen wounded as rockets hit Afghan capital on Independence Day. And now for all the details. India's coronavirus cases tally crossed 2.7 million mark on Tuesday with its spike of 55,079 cases and 876 deaths reported in the country in the last 24 hours. India has set another record of conducting nearly 900,000 COVID-19 tests in a single day, which is the highest so far. According to the Health Ministry, the positivity has remained low, that is 8.81% compared to the weekly national average.
India recorded 55,079 coronavirus cases in the past 24 hours, taking its total past the 2.7 million mark to touch 2,703,517. The country's death toll has surged to 51,025. Three most affected states by total tally of cases are Maharashtra, Southern Tamil Nadu and Andhra Pradesh states. India's Health Ministry in its press briefing on COVID situation in the country said India recorded the highest ever number of tests in the last 24 hours, a little more than 899,000. The number of recovered patients is more than 1.9 million lakhs, which is 2.93 times the active cases, and the fatality rate is below 2%.
The important point to note here is that in spite of a sustained level of 7 lakh to 8 lakh tests a day, the positivity figure has come down from 10% to 7.72%.
While coronavirus lockdown has been lifted in most parts of the country to curb the spread, streets wore a deserted look and shops remained closed in southern Puducherry on Tuesday as the Union Territory observed complete lockdown. Meanwhile, Eastern Bihar state extended the lockdown till 6th of September in view of the prevailing COVID-19 situation in the state.
Moving on. Incessant rains from past 1 week have caused flooding in India's southern Telangana state. The rain has resulted in overflowing of water bodies, which resulted in several villages being inundated as water overflowed on roads, causeways and low bridges. Among the worst hit districts are Walangar, Karimnagar and Khammam. Municipal Administration and Urban Development Minister K.T. Rama Rao along with Health Minister Itala Rajendra conducted an aerial survey of the affected areas in Warangal on Tuesday and interacted with the locals who are facing problems due to the flooding. Annual rainfall is essential in India as rains support two-thirds of the 1.3 billion population living in rural areas who rely on farming. However, excessive rainfalls cause problems like floods and landslides. In news from Pakistan, in a tragic incident, at least 10 picnickers, including women and minors, drowned while 3 others were rescued on Monday after a boat they were on board capsized in Kinjur Lake in southern Pakistani province of Sindh. At least 10 people drowned after their boat capsized in a lake in the southern Pakistani province of Sindh on Monday, rescue officials said. The incident occurred at Kinjur Lake in Tatta district of Sindh, some 135 kilometers from the Pakistani city of Karachi. Local media reported that overloading and strong winds were likely to have caused the incident. The bodies were transported to Eidi Morgue in Karachi, where relatives of the deceased had gathered. An official in charge at the morgue, Mohammed Aman, said 11 women and 2 girls from the same family from Karachi were returning from a shrine located in the middle of the lake when the boat capsized. Pakistan Navy divers and a Navy medical team assisted local administration in rescue and search operation, a press release from the Navy said. Moving on. Locals in Pakistan-administered Kashmir have blamed tourism sector in the illegally occupied region has failed to realize its true potential due to the apathy and neglect of the Pakistani authorities. Locals say while Islamabad continues to exploit the natural resources, it does not allocate any funds for improving the social infrastructure in the backward region.
Bestowed with stunning sights of mountains and a variety of flora and fauna, Pakistan-administered Kashmir is a potential tourist spot in the world. However, locals blame due to poor power supply, bad roads, and lack of proper policies. Tourism sector in the region has failed to realize its true potential under the illegal occupation of Pakistan. Locals say while Pakistan continues to exploit the natural resources, it does not allocate any funds for improving the social infrastructure in the backward region.
ऐसे ये नीचे नाला जा रहा है स्कूल के साथ, फिर आगे मुख्तलिफ चश्मे हैं, फिर आगे बेंसर वादी है, सरबान वाली वादी है, जिस्कूल वाली वादी है। इन वादी में बहुत ही अल्लाह ताला ने उसको हुस्न से माला माल किया हुआ है। तो ज़रूरत इस चीज़ की है कि अगर यहाँ पे सड़कों का जो निज़ाम है इसको मजबूत किया जाए, मजबूत बनाया जाए, तो यहाँ पे सियाहत को फ़रोग़ मिल सकता है।
Residents blame hollow promises to fix the roads and improve infrastructure keep coming from the politicians, but they do not take any action. A part of the erstwhile princely province of India's Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan-administered Kashmir was illegally annexed by Pakistan over 7 decades back.
In news from Afghanistan, Afghanistan marked the 101 year of its independence on Tuesday at a ceremony attended by President Ashraf Ghani in capital Kabul. Shortly after the celebrations, over a dozen rockets hit different parts of Kabul city, wounding at least 10 people. No group has claimed responsibility so far.
Afghanistan on Tuesday celebrated its 101st Independence Day, honoring Shah Amanullah Khan's founding of the nation in 1919. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani placed a floral wreath under the Monument of Freedom at the Afghan Defense Ministry compound in a ceremony attended by several Afghan government and foreign officials. The country gained full independence from Britain in 1919. Though never part of the British Empire, Britain had controlled Afghan foreign policy since the Second Anglo-Afghan War of 1879. Meanwhile, almost 30 minutes after the end of the ceremony, more than a dozen rockets struck parts of capital Kabul, including the main diplomatic area, wounding at least 17 people and prompting some foreign embassies to order a lockdown. The attack comes at a time when the United States is encouraging peace talks between the government and the Taliban, while preparing to withdraw the last US troops to end almost 19 years of war.
More news from Afghanistan. Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has warned that a possible deal made by the international community on the fate of Afghans will be rejected by Kabul if Afghans will be compromised in the process. Ghani's remarks come at a time when intra-Afghan negotiations between the government and the Taliban are expected to start soon in Doha once preconditions get fulfilled.
Afghan President Ashraf Ghani has warned that a possible deal made by the international community on the fate of Afghans will be rejected by Kabul if Afghans will be compromised in the process. Ghani on Monday pledged that the Republic and the government forces will not be compromised in the peace process with the Taliban. And if the world compromises on Afghans, they will stand alone. Meanwhile, media reports on Monday quoted Ghani spokesman Sadiq Siddiqui explaining the new position of the Afghan government, which is that the release of the remaining Taliban prisoners will be halted until the Taliban releases government troops. This comes as the request by international allies for special consideration for some of the Taliban prisoners is also causing a snag in the prisoner release and the intra-Afghan negotiations. The negotiations were expected to begin within days after traditional Grand Assembly Loya Jirga, held in Afghan capital Kabul on August 9, approved the release of 400 Taliban prisoners, including many involved in deadly attacks, removing the crucial precondition to talks.
Farmers in Rajouri district of India's Jammu and Kashmir are getting indulged in horticulture and growing fruits while shifting their main focus from just growing vegetables with the help of local agriculture as well as horticulture department. Have a look.
Farmers in far-flung areas of Rajouri district in India's Jammu and Kashmir have started growing fruits using integrated farming techniques while shifting their main focus from just growing vegetables. People of these areas are now growing all types of fruits in order to increase their income. The Agriculture and Horticulture Department are providing every facility, including latest technology, to the growers. The locals now aim to supply their produce to more and more districts and boost their profit from the business.
सर ये है कि पहले लोग जो थे वो एक बिजनेस की तरह हार्टिकल्चर को नहीं लेते थे, कहीं भी पौधे थोड़े 10-20 पौधे लगा दिए अपने लिए या कुछ रिश्तेदारों को बांट देते थे, लेकिन आगे एक वो बिजनेस की तरह एक हाई स्केल के ऊपर वो प्लांटेशन कर रहे हैं।
लोगों में पहले के मुकाबले में अब जो है रुझान बढ़ रहा है, क्योंकि अवेयरनेस लोगों में प्रोवाइड की जा रही है। महकमा जो हार्टिकल्चर है या एग्रीकल्चर महकमा है, ये लोगों में अवेयरनेस कैंप भी लगा रहा है। हमने गुज़श्ता अरसे में देखा कि बहुत सारे अवेयरनेस कैंप भी लगाए जा रहे हैं। जो PRIs है हमारे सरपंचेस बंचेस मकामी लेवल पर, वो भी लोगों को जो है वो अवेयरनेस दे रहे हैं।
About 50% of Jammu and Kashmir's economy is directly dependent on horticulture, and it is the main source of employment in the region.
Pandit Jasraj, one of the world's most prominent Indian classical vocalists, died of cardiac arrest in New Jersey on Monday, his family said. Tributes continue to pour in for the music legend who passed away at the age of 90.
Scores of mourners gathered at the Highland Park Funeral Home in New Jersey on Monday to pay their last respects to music maestro Pandit Jasraj. The Indian classical vocalist died of a cardiac arrest at the age of 90 in his New Jersey residence. Pandit Jasraj was in the United States when the coronavirus-induced lockdown was enforced in India, and he decided to stay back. Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, President Ram Nath Kovind and people from several walks of life expressed grief over the demise of the music legend. Modi said that his death has left behind a void in the Indian cultural sphere.
We are doing our best to assist the well-wishers and family members here, so that we can transport the mortal remains to India as soon as possible.
Pandit Jasraj's musical career spanned 8 decades across continents. He received several prestigious awards, including the Padma Vibhushan, India's second highest civilian honor. His demise has left not only the music industry, but the entire nation in deep shock.
Well, that's the way it was in South Asia this evening. Before we conclude the top stories once again. India records decline in daily COVID-19 cases and deaths, total cases over 2.7 million. At least 10 killed as boat capsizes in Pakistan's Sindh province. And over a dozen wounded as rockets hit Afghan capital on Independence Day. Now our viewers can watch the show on SouthAsiaNewsline.com. You can also visit us on Facebook.com/AsAsiaNewsline and follow us on Twitter @AsAsiaNewsline. That's all in tonight's edition. We'll see you same time tomorrow. Good night.